You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
Welcome to Lake Buena Vista, Florida. The happiest place on earth is also the home for some terrific basketball this Thanksgiving week. It's the Advocare Invitational Quarterfinals. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Tonight, the final game of our quarterfinals as Iowa from the Big Ten takes on the Atlantic 10's Flyers of Dayton. It's all part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. And these are two teams who once again have designs on postseason play in March. Earlier today, Utah State, and then our player of the game, it was our team of the game. The Monmouth Hawks got their first ever win against the top 25 team by upsetting 17th ranked Notre Dame 70-68. So that means one spot remains in the semifinals. Who gets it? The Flyers or the Hawkeyes? It's going to come down to tonight's quarterfinal contest here inside the HP Fieldhouse to figure that one out, and it promises to be a terrific matchup. Let's send it over to my partner, Tim Welsh, who's standing by with both head coaches.
Two loose head coaches, Archie, NCAA type game tonight. How do you approach it with your team?
Same as everyone. We got to be ourselves in an early season game against a great opponent. And if we can be ourselves, we're going to just try to compete, play hard, and be unselfish.
Randy, 67 wins among your four seniors. What type of experience do you have with them? What do you tell them tonight approaching this tournament?
Well, it's so important, to follow the game plan, take care of the basketball. This is maybe one of the best defensive teams in the country. You've got to move the ball and take care of it.
Thanks, guys.
And you heard Fran McCaffrey talk about Dayton's defense. They're allowing just 55.7 points per game. The Flyers will be wearing their home white with red trim. The Hawkeyes in their road black uniforms. And Jared Utoff with his back to the cameras right now, number 20 in black, is the best player on that Hawkeyes team. Keep an eye out for him. Their leading scorer at over 16 a game, and it's Hawkeyes ball to start. First shot of the game by Jock, off the mark. And Dayton gets the rebound. There's Scoochie Smith, one of the best point guards in the nation, number 11 in white, averaging 10 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 steals for the Flyers. Both teams come in undefeated at 3-0 apiece. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Pollard in the paint. Soft touch off the mark. And Woodbury has the first rebound for the Hawkeyes.
You can just feel the intensity in this building, Rich, and it's built by the defense on both ends.
Here's Pollard. Takes it himself. Opens the scoring.
Now that's so important for Archie Miller because Kendall Pollard has struggled offensively so far this season, going a little bit too fast, putting too much on himself. That was an easy one.
This has been a high-scoring Iowa ball club, 89+ points per game. Here's Woodbury, high post. 10 on the shot clock. Clemens. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Either way, it comes up empty. Kyle Davis. And he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, early on, Tim, you're seeing the speed, the transition game for the Dayton Flyers.
Well, Iowa wants to get Dayton in the half court because they don't feel that Dayton is in sync yet offensively. They're averaging 17 turnovers per game, but in transition, they are very dangerous. And Iowa's size advantage is negated when the Flyers are in the open court.
Kyle Davis, left-hander out of Chicago, knocks down the first free throw. An early 4-0 Dayton lead, 18:35 to go. What do you expect to see from Iowa's offense, Tim?
Well, they've got to just keep space in the court. They've got tremendous balance. They've got to find a way to get Peter Jackson open looks, and then, of course, Utoff is the key.
The block by Pollard. McIlvain comes away with it.
This is what Fran McCaffrey feared, just kind of Dayton punching them in the stomach. Iowa has to answer, be a little bit more assertive with the basketball.
Here's McIlvain. Archie Miller said, we've never had a kid like him in our program. It's 2 early fouls on Mike Gazelle.
This is what Dayton does. They just close the gaps, and when you dribble drive into the lane, you're going to see a second and a third defender. They do a great job of closing the lanes and recovering.
This is a Dayton team That is 27-11 the last 9 years against Power 5 schools. They know how to beat the big boys. Kick ball, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
You're looking at what Iowa will do all night long. They try to keep you off balance with their defense, and they've got Dom Mule in the game and a lot more length on the back line in the 2-3 zone.
10 to shoot for Dayton. Inside off the hands of McIlvain, couldn't handle the close pass, and it's Dayton's first turnover of the ballgame.
Well, that's Kendall Pollack going a little bit too fast, but also the length of that zone bothering Dayton. And you see very, very big with Jock now playing the 2-guard spot out front with Clemens.
Here's Clemens bringing the ball up, number 5 in black. Fran McCaffrey plays with 2 point guards on the floor usually when they don't have foul trouble. That's out of bounds. Second turnover for Iowa.
You have to be very aware, if you're Iowa, of Dayton's defense on the backside. Those windows close very quickly because you may see an opening, but they close it with their super rotations.
Almost a steal by Jock. Davis down the right side. Kyle Davis has an early 4, and it's 6-0 Dayton.
Scoochie Smith and Kyle Davis just attack, and with Charles Cook out there, they've got 3 weapons on the perimeter.
Utah, another turnover. 2-on-1, the lob. Cook couldn't handle it.
Kyle Davis just finding a way against Iowa's defense. And you see Woodbury just kind of doesn't slide his feet. He's got to protect that. Take one more step to the baseline and use his extension at the rim to protect.
Clemens runs the point with Gazelle on the bench in foul trouble. Here's Brady Ellingson, who's checked in. Dom Mule in the paint, too strong. Rebound McIlvain. Scoochie will try it for 3. Here's Utah, step back, money. One of the best players in the Big Ten, Jared Utah, the senior out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
That's the first clean look they have. And Utah's got to do that, use his ability to play outside, driving inside.
It took 4 minutes, but they got their first field goal of the game. Now make it 2, and they both come from number 20, Jared Utah.
You have to play Utah before he catches the ball, and that's that sweet spot. He is so dangerous. He catches on the line. You have to play the drive. You back up. He knocks it down.
He was 3rd team All Big Ten a year ago. Figures to be better than that this year. Chance to take the lead for Iowa for the first time. Utah leads it. Nice feed from Utah to Woodbury.
Well, that's the way to game plan offense. Just put it in his hands because he makes things happen.
Here's Cook, and we saw him knock down triples all practice long the other day.
All season long, he has been an instant offense guy. The transfer from James Madison.
Utah feeling it.
Kendall Pollard just shaking his head. I denied him, Coach Miller, but he just took another step back and shot it right over my face.
Here's Davis. Yes! Hot shooting from both clubs.
That's good offense by Dayton. They took their time. They got into the gap. They drove the weak side defenders, kicked it back out.
Foul on the floor as we go to break with a little jawing going on between Iowa and Dayton. 12-10, Flyers the early lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Advocare. We build champions. And Gildan. Every thread counts.
Dayton with a 12-10 lead over Iowa. 14-18 to go in this final quarterfinal from Walt Disney World Resorts and the Advocare Invitational. Welcome inside HP Fieldhouse. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Alongside Tim Welsh, I'm Rich Hollenberg. We got the food out of the way. Now it's all basketball from here on out, and it took them 4 minutes to score, but once Iowa did, Jared Uthoff looks like Jared Uthoff.
Well, I tell you, Rich, you and I have been here over the years, and this building is always freezing cold, but it's red hot tonight, not just from the play on the floor, but there's a lot of energy in the building and a lot of energy on defense, and Iowa had a trouble early with the quickness of Dayton, but when you need points, you go to that man right there, number 20, Jared Uthoff, can make things happen on the perimeter from way out. I mean, Larry Bird-like over the top, and Dayton has to make some adjustments on how you defend him. I think basically you've got to face guard him now. Coming out of that timeout, Charles Cook is going to try his hand at defending Jared Uthoff.
Uthoff 2 3-pointers, 8 points to lead all scorers in the early going. Here's Ewell. He's a matchup nightmare so long. And a whistle away from the ball. Our officials tonight, Brian Kersey, Rick Crawford, and Jeff Pond. That's the first foul on Charles Cook. And we see Peter Jock check in after spending some time on the bench. Ellingson goes to sit down next to Coach McCaffrey. Rule can't get it to go. Here comes Dayton. Gucci wanted a backdoor, didn't get it.
He did, and Iowa's done a nice job of on the retreat now, closing the gaps, getting set, playing 5-on-5.
Now we see a couple of subs for Archie Miller. The freshman, Sam Miller, lost control, out of bounds. It'll be Iowa basketball.
Yeah, that's not a good move by Sam Miller. A little too fast. Nothing there. He's got to pitch it back out.
Zarius Williams, number 20 in white, who you just saw. He's another freshman. Much deeper Dayton team this year than the team last year that maybe overachieved in making it into the NCAA tournament.
Well, there's no question they overachieved. They had lost some important pieces midway through the season, but they retooled, and that's what Archie Miller does.
Jock for 3, and that's what he does. A marksman.
You've got to stay attached to Peter Jock because he doesn't need much space to knock it down.
Cook to the hole, had it blocked. Williams, the follow and 1.
When you talk to the Iowa coaches, they talk about Zarius Williams as a defender, a skill guy, and getting better and better every day. Nice looking freshman for Dayton, and you know the thing about Dayton in the recruiting, they've done a great job, and the 8 million rumors every year that Archie Miller's going here, there, and everywhere, but he's put his stake in the ground in Dayton. He loves it there. The administration has backed him and given him the support, and it's a tremendous place to coach basketball. 37
years old, has a contract extension, a lot of security in a basketball hotbed. 7 minutes gone by in the first half. Dayton up by 2. Utah, no. Jock, the offensive rebound, and he got fouled.
Jared Uthoff got deep range. That might have been a step on what Fran McCaffrey likes to see, but you don't want to restrict your big man. He is a smart enough and experienced player to understand what this team needs and when it needs it.
Fran McCaffrey's led this team to the NCAA tournament the last 2 seasons. They got a win over Davidson, and it was their first NCAA tournament win since 2001, Tim. And they ended up losing to Gonzaga as a 7 seed, but back-to-back years to the NCAAs, and this certainly has all the makings of a tournament team to go for the 3rd straight year.
Well, we talked about it in the open with Franny, and we've got 4 seniors that have won 67 games. So this team is used to winning, and last year used to winning on the road as well.
There's a 3, Mike Sell, no good. Offensive rebound, and a fresh 30 seconds for the Flyers. And straight away, no good for Darrell Davis. Nice feed. Clemens to Ahmad Wagner. And Iowa has their first lead of the game.
The depth of Iowa. A lot of people have 12 guys they think they will use. Fran McCaffrey trusts 12 players.
That is a deep three from Davis, no good. And we're going the other way. And right away, Kendall Pollard and Kyle Davis off the bench for Archie Miller.
Well, in transition, this is where Iowa's very good because they're unselfish and they rim run the first big man right to the basket, and tremendous awareness by Clemens to find Wagner at the rack.
Iowa averaging 23.7 assists per game, Tim. That'll win you a lot of ball games.
Get you a lot of minutes too, and minutes are hard to find because he's got a lot of options out there on the floor, but when it's in crunch time, Fran McCaffrey will go to his seniors.
Catching fire. Peter Jock, that's his game. Pollard, the foul on the floor. We have a timeout on the floor with 11:50 to go. Iowa started slow, but they're up 3 on Dayton from Disney World.
Located in the middle of Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex puts the national spotlight on cheer and dance competitions. Varsity Cheer, the industry leader, hosts more than 300 teams here annually. Give your squad the recognition and title it deserves. Begin your journey at ESPNWWS.com.
Just one of the reasons why it's so fun to play a basketball tournament down here, and we've seen some great basketball. Monmouth downing Notre Dame, 17th ranked Fighting Irish go down. Monmouth's first win over an AP Top 25 team. Tom Izzo, congratulations to him. 500th career win against Boston College. Denzel Valentine, a triple-double again in that contest. And we're not the only tournament that has some top 25 upsets. UConn goes down, so does Gonzaga in the battle for Atlantis.
Well, I'm beginning to believe that we shouldn't call anything an upset until we clear Thanksgiving weekend, because we have just seen a lot of good teams that people weren't aware of. And I really like the rule changes. I think the players, the coaches, the officials have all adjusted very, very well. I think college basketball as a whole, just from watching it, the entire landscape has been outstanding so far this year, and the adjustment to the rules have been a plus.
You're agreeing with referees? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm agreeing with the rules committee, and the coaches and the players.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about the refs.
I thought I was hearing things for a second. Here comes Williams, up ahead, Mike Sell. Nice up and under. Ryan Mike Sell, the freshman out of St. Henry, Ohio, with his first 2.
And that's what Dayton needs. They need to get out in transition, because scoring in the half court will not be easy against Iowa's length.
Fran McCaffrey going deep into his bench with the reserves right now. Here's Jock. Too strong, got his own miss. And he won't miss that twice in a row.
And he'll take those ad nauseum. He is not afraid. Even if he misses 4 or 5 in a row, he'll keep firing.
Here's Pollard. No, the follow, yes! Kendall Pollard credited with his second bucket of the game.
Kendall Pollard's come out with a nice pace, and Archie Miller had a good talk with him before they came to Orlando about just slowing his game down. They didn't need him to go 100 miles an hour on the offensive end.
Lost it, battle for the loose ball. And these are 2 teams who will do just that. They'll battle.
Rugby type play in the corner by Anthony Clemens, right in front of the hustle deluxe here by Iowa. No, that's Dale Jones. A little opportunity to show Kirk Ferentz back home in Iowa City. Maybe if you need somebody, I can suit up.
Foul, count the 3-pointer as well. Jared Utoff, his 3rd triple of the night, and he has a chance at a 4-point play.
When Jared Utoff comes off that little downstream, you cannot go underneath, and you see on that play Zarius Williams freshman mistake, goes underneath. Great screen by Adam Woodbury.
And sharing is caring for Iowa. 7 assists already on their 9 made buckets. Here's Jones. No good from the elbow. Foul, we're going the other way. Well, we just showed you our basketball headlines. A couple of big ones coming from a couple of different tournaments that are being played. This is the DirecTV Wooden Legacy out in Orange County, California, and we already talked about Michigan State advancing courtesy of a big night for Denzel Washington with a triple-double. Tom Izzo getting win number 500. Arizona in the bottom of that bracket. That'll be a heck of a final. There's Scoochie for 3.
Again, Iowa extended the defense, and Dayton did a really good job, and Woodbury got caught backing in.
Second foul on Adam Woodbury. Dayton basketball, 9:48 to go. Back and forth contest, 23-22. Iowa. It took them 4 minutes to get in the scoring column, but since then, they've been shooting lights out.
Well, Utah has been the guy, but interesting enough that Mike Gazelle on the bench, he is the guy that makes them go and runs their stuff. Thomas has done a pretty good job, though.
Things very physical, Tim, despite the fact that we're looking at 2 teams that like to run up and down the floor.
Well, they also like to bang. Iowa is known to be a physical frontline type present team, a Big Ten physical team. At Dayton, so that's their MO. They come in with a little chip on their shoulder saying, listen, we're going to just out-tough you.
Pollard has 5. Seems like the team plays with an edge, and their fans, who travel as well as any fan base in the country, also has a little bit of an edge to them.
They sold out the marathon game on Tuesday at noon. They closed the city down. No one went to class. No one went to work at Dayton. They closed the shopping centers and sold out Dayton Arena when they beat Alabama. And they're all here in Orlando as well.
Utah, so smooth. Another triple for Jared Utah.
He's so good reading screens. They do a great job of spacing, setting screens for him, and then he comes off, shot ready.
They called that a 2-pointer, so Utah has 13. That leads all scorers. Williams, no. Smith, surrounded by 4 Hawkeyes, does the right thing and gets it out to Cook.
There's the maturity of Scoochie Smith, not forcing anything in the lane, finding the open man.
Utah, no. Here's Cook on the leak out. Look out! And a 3-pointer right back at you. Dale Jones, his first bucket of the night.
You cannot relax against anybody on either team because they have so many weapons from the perimeter.
Foul on the floor.
There's the maturity as we spoke about of Scoochie Smith, drawing 4 Iowa defenders, but the presence of mind to find his teammate in the corner and getting out in transition. And this is what Charles Cook has done for Dayton, just filled the role quite nicely right out of the gate after sitting out a season on transfer.
Scoochie Smith, junior point guard out of the Bronx, New York. Talking to Archie before the team finished up practice yesterday, he said he finished his freshman and sophomore years both so strong, and this is the first year where he started the season equally as strong.
Well, that's what you get when you're playing a winning program. You just get figure it out the first couple of years, and then by the time you're a junior, you play for Archie Miller, you know you have all the parts ready to start the season.
Nice move, but a tough shot by Utah. And another foul, and Dayton's going to go back to the line. 7:53 to go. Back and forth we go.
Scoring machine. The transfer from James Madden. Outside in, inside.
The rest of the ESPN crew here at Disney World. Dayton a 31-28 lead in the Advocare Invitational quarterfinals, part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. We talked to Archie Miller, head coach for Dayton, Tim, and he said he was really concerned with the bigs of Iowa, and yet you look at the stat sheet right now, and Dayton outscoring them in the paint 12-4. What gives?
Well, Dayton has been on the attack, both in transition and half court. I think the problem with Iowa getting easy looks around the basket has been their leader, their point guard, their quarterback has been on the bench. Mike Gazelle has not been out there, and you know Anthony Clemens has done a nice job of running the team, but Mike Gazelle is the key to Iowa running their club in the half court and making sure they get touches in the proper area.
Pollard 1 for 2. Out of bounds, it'll be Iowa basketball.
But Fran McCaffrey has the luxury of sitting Mike Gazelle with 2 fouls. He's only played 2 minutes. I mean, when you have an experienced guy like Anthony Clemens, you can put Jock at the 2, and you've got so much depth. And you know, Utah basically can play like a guard as well.
That interior pass erased by Zarius Williams. And it's going to be another Iowa foul. Scoochie Smith will go to the line and shoot. Well, with the depth that Fran McCaffrey has, it also gives you 5 fouls for all those players that he could put out on the floor. He seems to be using all of them.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they're using them, but now Dayton's in the double bonus, which is a difficult situation to face for the last 7.5 minutes because of the fact not foul trouble per se, but be careful. You have to understand how the officials are calling the game, and Dayton will take you off the bounce. They'll spread you with your 3 guards and attack the rim and try to get to the free throw line.
Smith 1 for 2. It's a 5-point Dayton lead, 33-28. One and done for the Hawkeyes, and Dayton wants to run. Pollard!
The classic example of bad offense on one end leads to easy looks on the other, and Kendall Pollard going 100 miles an hour and finishing.
7 minutes left in the first half. Largest lead of the game for the Flyers. Tough shot by Utah. Might have been partially blocked by Cook. One more, Cook. Chased down by Pollard. Heads up play, but it's still going to be Iowa basketball. And Kendall Pollard is someone that Archie Miller said last year he was trying to squeeze 100 points out of every bucket that he scored. Was putting so much pressure on himself to be a volume scorer. Now he's letting the game come to him a little bit more.
Well, he's even done that at the beginning of this year. He really has not played that well offensively, but tonight it talks. And the film study has worked for Kendall Pollard. But the best move Archie Miller's made is he's put Charles Cook on Jared Uthoff, and he has not scored since that switch defensively.
There's a long 3 by Dale Jones, his second of the night. Cuts the Dayton lead to 4. Look out again! Dayton getting to the rim at will.
Well, that's problematic for Iowa because that's after a made basket. They need to sprint back a lot faster and get their defense set.
Jock, step back. No. Utah. Tried to leave it for Ewell, and we've got a foul down below.
Dayton in transition can be as good as anybody because they attack with toughness at the rack, and if they You just jog back and do not stop the ball or identify. That's what happens.
Williams checks out.
Iowa was in the proverbial, we call it the home run trot. You hit that home run and you kind of look at it and you trot around like you're Big Papi. You got to sprint back against Dayton and get your defense set even after a make.
There's assistant coach Alan Griffin. Griffith was a Syracuse guard back in the day and now a great assistant on that staff for Archie Miller. First 2 points of the night for the top scorer off the bench for Iowa. Dom Ewell hits both free throws.
Ryan McCaffrey giving Dayton a little bit different look. Length at the top, 2-3 zone, long in the back.
Davis found some room, came up short on the jumper. Well, we just mentioned Syracuse a moment ago, and they, maybe to the surprise of some, have reached the championship in the battle for Atlantis on Paradise Island in the Bahamas. They'll take on another top 25 team. They downed UConn in the semis. Now it's the Aggies. Daniel House, Jalen Jones and company await Trevor Cooney and Michael Biniget. That championship will be played tomorrow.
Nice tasting win for Syracuse, bringing back the memories of the Big East matchups. It was weird watching Jim Boeheim coach and not seeing Jim Calhoun down the other end, but that guy has established himself, Kevin Ollie, as one of the top coaches in the country already in a short time.
And Bobby Worley gets his first 2 points of the night. 11 for 13 from the stripe for the Dayton Flyers, being aggressive tonight, as usual. And that foul is going to go on number 1 in white, Darrell Davis.
That's a good move by Peter Jock. I mean, people are going to get up underneath his face because they know what deep range he has and doesn't need much space out there on the perimeter to knock it down. So he's got to be able to mix up his game. That's where he's shown some improvement, being able to put it on the deck and get to the free throw line.
Now Ryan Mikesell checks in. And Davis goes to the bench. Peter Jock at the line, shooting 1 and 1.
Well, Dave's really geared their defense in the last 4 or 5 minutes on Jared Utoff, and Dale Jones and Peter Jock have taken over and picked up the slack, but they're having problems with transition.
A lob to Mike Selden. Here's Jones from inside the three-point line. No. Out of bounds, it'll stay Hawkeyes basketball. Now John Crosby checks in, another freshman. And Scoochie Smith goes to the bench.
Well, I was going to try to free up Jared Utoff for a little cross screen here, and Kendall Pollard's will be ready to defend because he's feeling like he needs to get a bucket here. He's hasn't done much in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
They get it to Utoff on the baseline. Inside, Jock. Yes. Double digits for Peter Jock, the junior out of West Des Moines, Iowa.
And nice patience by Utoff. Didn't force the situation, waited for the cutter to.
Crosby up and under. Seldom used John Crosby gets in the scoring column. And Tim, neither team could fall asleep in transition in this one.
Well, I did not know where he was going with the basketball. There was nowhere to go, but he found a way to knife through and get to the rim. And Iowa did a pretty good job in their zone defense, but Crosby just found a way.
Utoff at the line. He has 13. 8 for 9 from the free throw line in the early part of this season. Make it 9 for 10 to give him 14 points.
Big guy, you got a towel?
McIlvain will check in for Dayton. That's Ahmad Wagner coming in for Iowa. Tough, good on both. He has 15 to lead all scorers. 4-point Dayton lead, 4 minutes to go. Crosby lost it, unforced error. Here come the Hawkeyes. McIlvain clears for Dayton.
Crosby's got to slow down a little bit. He's got a lot of talent, very quick with the basketball, but he's got to probe this zone defense.
Tried to force it inside to McIlvain. He lost the handle. 7th turnover for Dayton. Spin move, Jock. Jones. Too strong. McIlvain clears. Counting down to 3 minutes to go. Back and forth first half. A couple of NCAA tournament teams a year ago looking to start off their new campaign with a win here against a quality team. From the baseline, that's Kyle Davis for 3. His second three-pointer of the night, Tim.
That's the best offensive set Dayton has run the last 3 or 4 possessions against Iowa's zone. They really changed sides of the floor. They got it in the middle. They shrunk the defense and kicked it back out to the open man in the corner.
7 points ties the largest lead of the game for the Flyers, 44-37, 2:32 to go. We have a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick timeout ourselves, and when we come back, we'll check in with some former stars that played in this tournament.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. And Taco Bell's new steak boss wraps.
10 years of tournament history here in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. Arkansas won the first championship in 06. Then Gonzaga, the only 2-time champions. They've won it in 08 and 2012. Who's the best scorer in this tournament? Michael Beasley with the K-State team. 2007 averaged over 24 points per game. And tonight, we're setting a little record ourselves. 4,800 plus. That's the most all-time at the Advocare Invitational single game tournament. Used to be called the Old Spice Classic, now the Advocare Invitational. And Dayton fans travel down, Iowa fans travel down. There's a sea of red and black and yellow as well here to take in this final quarterfinal matchup. Rich Hollenberg, Tim Welsh, the rest of the ESPN crew, wishing you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving. And we have seen some dynamite basketball, and this game certainly no different.
No question. These two teams are excellent, and they are going at each other. They're changing their schemes back and forth. A little bit of a chess match. A lot of depth on both sides of the floor. Iowa just has to settle down on the offensive end of the floor to get back in this game.
5 on the shot clock. Whistle. Going the other way. Well, we're counting down to 2 minutes to go, Tim. What would you like to see from Iowa offensively to try to cut into this Dayton lead that they've held?
Well, some misdirection to get Jared Uthoff hands on the ball on the move. And you see they're going to do that at the top.
There's Clemens surveying. Tried the lob. And that was a race by McIlvain, but here's Uthoff. Clemens forces it. Too strong as the shot clock ran down. Davis, same spot as last time. No good this time. Uthoff, the weak side rebound. Three-pointer way off the mark from Ellingson. And now Iowa struggling to find their range.
Well, it's Dayton again, just getting back in transition, and they've just done a tremendous job of gearing their defense, not only one-on-one with Charles Cook, but their help defense as well, their support defense on screens, just making the looks very difficult for Jared Uthoff.
Archie Miller telling his team in practice constantly, ball pressure is the key. We're getting plenty of that tonight. Inside, Pollard fakes, misses. McIlvain tried to tie it up, and instead gets whistled for the foul. Friday, the fate of the Big 12 is still up in the air. It's college football presented by Jimmy John's at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Number 7 Baylor, number 19 TCU. Then Saturday Night Football presented by Walmart at 8 Eastern on ABC. Bedlam once again, and this is a meaningful one. Number 3 Oklahoma battles number 11 Oklahoma State. Both games streaming live on Watch ESPN, part of the rivalry series presented by Jiffy Lube. Sooners clinch the Big 12 championship with a win. The question is, do they clinch a spot in the playoffs?
I like Iowa. I think Iowa's got the team to beat down the stretch, and Kirk Ferentz is voting him with my vote. I just received a ballot today. He's my coach of the year nationally in college football.
He deserved that. Here's Clemens. First 2 of the night for Anthony Clemens. The lead down to 5 for Dayton.
That was a good move by Clemens. He's rushed a couple of the shots when he got all the way to the rim, but found an open gap. But again, Iowa on the retreat, not getting their defense set. They have to do a better job. And Fran McCaffrey is just pleading with his team on every score or miss. Just get back. He's got 2 hands up in the air. He's like he's a traffic policeman. Get back, and because he knows, he understands that if they give Dayton any type of angle or gap in transition or advantage, they're too quick to the rim.
Scoochie Smith has missed his last 2 free throws. Rattles that one home. He has 7, and the lead is 6 for the Flyers. Time running down in the first half, 40 seconds to go. Catch and fire. No good from Jock. Here's Smith. 3 on 2. Takes it himself and lost the handle at the very end. Shot clock is off, 20 seconds left in the half.
They'll probably get Utah at some sort of pick and pop situation, or maybe a down screen for Jock for a 3. But I was fortunate. Smith had a good look at transition.
They wave off the shot, traveling violation. And the clock says there's still 0.3 left.
Anthony Clemens having some problems with Dayton's pressure on the perimeter, never getting Iowa into a comfortable set.
45-39, Dayton goes to the locker room with a 6-point lead over the Big Ten's Iowa Hawkeyes. Coming up on the Land Rover Halftime Report with Kevin Connors and LaFonso Ellis. We'll talk about Syracuse and UConn going at it again, just like the good old days in the Big East. This time it was down in the Bahamas. And the Aggies outlast the 10th-ranked Zags of Gonzaga. A lot of upsets on this Thanksgiving Thursday. Is there another one in the works? With the Atlantic 10's Dayton Flyers leading the Big Tens. Iowa Hawkeyes 45-39 at the half.
We can't even slow down. We don't have to.
Into the Land Rover halftime report from all of us to all of you. A very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're enjoying the day with friends and family. I am right here. Kevin Connors alongside LaFonso Ellis here. So much basketball on this Thanksgiving to get to. Let's sink our teeth into the battle for Atlantis. Syracuse and UConn, old Big East foes having at it in the Bahamas. Michael Benedict, Tyler Roberson, the alley-oop, Fonz.
Syracuse is terrific when they can get you to turn it over and get out in transition. 17 points off UConn turnovers tonight.
But the Huskies would not go down easy. The NC State transfer Rodney Purvis the 3. 10 seconds to go. UConn does not foul. Trevor Cooney Misses the three, but Roberson the rebound. The Cuse. They don't need 6 overtimes this time, but they win it 79-76. Land Rover above and beyond. You know who went above and beyond? Michael Benajay. 17 points, 7 assists, 6 steals. No Syracuse player has done that since Michael Carter-Williams. And I need not tell you he is playing in the NBA right now. Big win for Syracuse, who has a tremendous backcourt. We know that. They've got a stud freshman big, and they've got that 2-3 zone that you know is coming. But Fonz, the Huskies struggled with it.
They really did early, and I was actually surprised with the size and length that they have, UConn, on the perimeter, that they would just throwing the basketball around, moving it around, precious time working off the shot clock, and then would force to shoot some long jump shots. And they were missing those shots. Those long shots led to long rebounds. Syracuse was able to get out in transition during a clutch time in the last 2 minutes of the game. You cannot allow Syracuse to get easy baskets in transition. Missed opportunities by UConn tonight.
We are seeing the development of an outstanding freshman there, Tyler Lydon. Malachi Richardson's good. Tyler Lydon has been a big surprise for Jim Boeheim early on. Meantime, Syracuse will play in the championship of the Battle for Atlantis against, no, not Kyle Wiltshire and Gonzaga. It's Texas A&M. Second half, Daniel House found ways, Fonz, to penetrate that D.
His ability to score inside and outside makes him so valuable. How 19 on the night for that young man.
Silas Melson forces one up and in. Zags led by 2. A&M took the lead on free throws. 10 seconds to go. Gonzaga down 1. What happens, Fonz?
Look at Daniel House. Not only doing it on the offensive end, look at him move his feet, challenge a late shot. Missed one there by Gonzaga.
And Billy Kennedy's team knocks off the number 10 team in the country, 62-61. The final. Gonzaga may have the best front court in the country. Jay Williams says they do have the best front court in the country. But, Fonz, we found out today that if all 3 of those guys don't shine, they could struggle.
Absolutely, and they've gotten consistent play from Domantas Sabonis, but he got in foul trouble early, lost his confidence, came in the second half, was really a non-factor. And when you don't have him on the offensive glass, getting second-chance shots, scoring in the post, that front-line production really struggles, and they struggled with the length of Texas A&M around the basket today. The first time I've seen that from that vaunted front line of Gonzaga.
And so we'll see Syracuse and Texas A&M in the championship game, 3 Eastern on Friday. What are you looking for in that game?
I'm looking for a game that's going to be really sped up. This is a Syracuse team now known for that 2-3 zone, of course, but they're playing against a confident Texas A&M team that's first in the SEC and scoring at 87 points per game. And you talk about a Syracuse team that forces teams to make 3-point jump shots, and that's exactly what Texas A&M does. 46% from 3 for the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how many 3-point shots this Texas A&M team can make, and can they get missed shots and turn those into transition layups. It's going to be key tomorrow against Syracuse.
Who's going to win?
I got the Qs. I think that zone, not having an opportunity to prepare for it, it's so tough and it's so long. And with Benajay up the top of that thing, it makes it really long. Trevor Cooney's playing well.
It's not just the pocket hanky that's making you say that. Be honest.
It's not. It's not.
Expert analysis here. Plenty more to come on the Land Rover halftime report. Hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond.
We got one.
Yeah, we're going to show you the makes. The couple of them that there were. Jalen Brunson, a 3, and then second half, Mikal Bridges, the steal on one end, goes all the way. This is a high percentage shot.
They needed all the layups they can get because they were ice cold from the field.
Both teams were. Stanford missed its first 15 shots. Ryan Arcidiacono, corner 3.
How many times have we seen him make that one in his career?
So many. Been there forever. 59-45. Nova over Stanford, and USC is now 5-0. Andy Enfield's team 72-69 over Wichita State. What to watch for when you're watching Kentucky and USF, 5 Eastern Friday on ESPN. Cats #1 team in the country. John Calipari says at least 20 other teams are better than his team. LaFonso Wellis, can this bunch be better than last year's team?
I think it's tough for them to be better than last year's team. You know how many pros they sent to the league last year? They just don't have that many this year. But the way Tyler Ulis is leading this team right now, he's been absolutely sensational. The key factor for this team to get back to a Sweet 16 or maybe a Final Four is the play of Alex Poitras. When he's being athletic, getting on the offensive glass, blocking shot, and he's one of the best defensive players on that team. When he's good, the Cats are good too.
I know Kyle Wilcher's great, Denzel Valentine. For my money, Tyler Ulis is the most exciting player in college basketball. And it's Orlando Antigua versus John Calipari on Friday. This has been the Land Rover Halftime Report. Enjoy the second half.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover. Above and beyond. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's.
You're watching the Advocare Invitational from Walt Disney World inside the HP Fieldhouse. It's part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's, and the Dayton Flyers out of the Atlantic 10 have a 6-point lead over the Big Ten's Iowa Hawkeyes. Happy Thanksgiving once again, everybody. Hope you had a terrific day with your friends and family. Thanks for joining us for some more hoops on a Thursday evening alongside Tim Welsh. I'm Rich Hollenberg, and Tim, Iowa struggled to score at the start, but then their leader, Jared Utoff, started getting hot.
Well, they never got into a good rhythm because Mike Gazelle only played 2 minutes as their point guard, but Jared Utoff kind of played a point forward spot, and he really got hot and from the three-point line, creating space off the bounce. Was a one-man wrecking crew for a long time until Archie Miller switched Charles Cook on him, but he is a tough out from the top, just rises up and fires. But Dayton defensively did a great job on the glass, balanced scoring, and when they got out transition, they had one thing in mind: the iron. Go to it and finish. And their toughness on defense really created a lot of opportunities, not only off turnovers and misses, but on makes too. They really attacked Iowa, and Fran McCaffrey was pleading with his team to get back and get their defense set, and when they didn't, Dayton succeeded.
Dayton dominated in the paint. To your point, they took the ball to the rack, 18-8 in that category, and something of note, 12 for 15 from the free throw line for Dayton. Iowa only went to the free throw line 9 times. That also shows how aggressive these Flyers have been.
Well, that's their mantra. They are going to attack. They put their nose into your chest and say, match this toughness. Iowa's got a lot to do to get Mike Gazelle back into the flow of this game after sitting out the last 18 minutes of the first half.
He's number 10 in black for Iowa. McIlvain, a good start to the second half for Dayton.
Oh, that's a power move. An improving player, lost weight, in better condition, and getting better every day.
Here's Gazelle, averages 8+ assists per game. He has the ball right now. Fires up a jumper, no good. And Dayton gets the loose ball. Pollard took it strong. And sometimes when things are going well, they're really going well.
Well, that was a fortunate bounce, but he took advantage of Iowa again not matching up in transition. No one guarding him or matching up on Kendall Pollard. He's got a free lane to the rim, and Jared Utoff trying to protect at the last second. Too late.
Pollard completes the three-point play. He has 12, and that leads all Dayton Flyer scores. They have their largest lead of the game, 50-39. Gazelle off the mark. Davis, the two-hand flush. Not the way Iowa wanted to start. Hot for Dayton.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving. And Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Well, Dayton came out of the locker room and immediately went on a 7-zip spurt. They have a 52-39 lead over Iowa, 18:55 to go in the contest. And Dayton has made a habit of downing the Power 5 schools. This is nothing new for the Flyer faithful.
Yeah, I would not ever call Dayton a non-power school anymore. They are a basketball power under Archie Miller. There's no question about that. And you could just see it in their eyes, the way they carry themselves and walk onto a court for practice or into an atmosphere like this to play a team like Iowa. They play with a lot of confidence, toughness, and feel like they belong. from the get-go.
Woodbury, shot fake. Up. And Adam Woodbury will go to the line.
That was a good move by Adam Woodbury. On the reversal, Steve McElvain gave a lot of help in the middle of the floor. And usually Dayton does a better job of rotating back down, but that's what Iowa needs. They need to go to their power game. They need to get Mike Gazelle into the flow. He kind of came out of the locker room at halftime after sitting 18 minutes, forced a shot, just taking a few minutes to get into the flow. Not on the offensive end of the floor, but defensively, he's got to communicate, make sure his teammates get back and match up quickly.
Davis got bumped as he came down from that three-point attempt.
Anthony Clemens did a pretty good job on the closeout to the corner, and this is why Dayton's so hard to defend. Just not under control. And contact after the shot.
First one's good for Kyle Davis. That's something that the officials were taking a much closer look at now as opposed to previous years, with a three-point shooter maybe kicking his leg out to try to draw contact. There was no question that was a foul.
Well, Clemens did over-help, and that's the classic case, is that you can't help from the corner down to the low box, especially if you're guarding a shooter on ball side. Clemens has to stay home.
15 for Kyle Davis. Game high honors along with Jared Utah. Clemens high off the window.
Anthony Clemens continues to try to make something happen, playing with a lot of energy on the offensive end, and if he can get his backcourt mate in sync with him, Iowa can make a run back into this game.
Cook slashes in. Off the glass and good. Dayton continues to attack the rim.
Well, Steve McElvain made this play happen. He drew the help down to the low box. He felt the pressure, kicked it back out, and Dayton reversed the ball before Iowa could reverse their defensive rotation properly. And Cook found a gap, got into the lane, and does what he does, finishes in traffic.
Tim, this is an Iowa team that went into Milwaukee and blitzed Marquette 89-61. What's the difference between that team and the team we're seeing tonight?
They got a lot of open looks that night, and they knocked them down. Tonight, they are not getting clean looks. This Dayton team is up in their drill on every pass, every dribble, defensively.
Here's Ewell. Around and in for Dom Ewell, his first field goal of the night. Ball goes out of bounds. Scoochie Smith had to tie his sneaker. Dayton looking to go 4-0 on the season. Wins against SEMO, Alabama. A pretty good William & Mary team as well. Pass knocked out of bounds. 13 seconds on the shot clock. It'll stay Dayton ball.
Dayton's offense seems to be in better sync tonight than it has pretty much all season long. I mean, in the Alabama game, they blew out Alabama, but against William & Mary, they're averaging 17 turnovers per game. They seem to be moving the ball better tune with each other offensively.
Cook, baseline, no. Offensive rebound. McElvain steps in, and they call traveling before the bucket went through. Shuffled his feet right before he went up with it.
Well, that's a good call by Jeff Pond, but Steve McElvain is showing us a lot tonight as a big man to be reckoned with. Just ever improving. He lost the 30 pounds in the offseason. Just a guy that continues to get better, and the Dayton coaching staff just raves about his ability just to finish plays now in the lane and be able to stay in the game because of better conditioning.
Just the 9th turnover for Dayton, as you alluded to moments ago. Averaging over 17 a game. That's a good stat for our junior. Seven to shoot. Ewell got picked off. Davis, no, but a foul's called. And that's the 3rd foul on Gazelle.
Well, this is what Kyle Davis is. He's a ball hawk, he's a shutdown defender, and he is a game manager for Dayton. He finishes plays, he runs the team, and plays with toughness.
Davis perfect from the free throw line tonight. 6 for 6. And once again, Gazelle to the bench. Gazelle not only has 0 points, but more importantly for Iowa's offense, 0 assists.
Exactly. He's got 25 assists and 5 turnovers on the season. He's a guy that has done an outstanding job all season running this team. Just a veteran, a winning player, has not gotten the flow at all tonight.
Smith for 3. Rebound, Williams, blocked. And here come the Hawkeyes. Davis wanted the clean pick, and instead he gets the foul. (58-45). Dayton in the shadow of Epcot, looking to run away with this one. So far, the story of this tournament, how about the Monmouth Hawks from the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference? Their bench outscored Notre Dame's 19-0, and they put on a show on the sidelines as well. It was the first time Monmouth has ever beaten a top 25 ranked team, and they will go to the semifinals led by Justin Robinson, number 12 in white, who you saw just there. They're waiting the winner of this Dayton-Iowa game. In the other semifinals, it's 23rd ranked Xavier against USC, who pulled up a mild upset, we'll call it, against 20th ranked Wichita State. The Shockers playing without Fred VanVleet.
Well, for many years, I used to tease King Rice, his lovely wife Summer. It must be difficult when you're having coffee every morning. You have to call your husband King. But for a night, King Rice is the king of the basketball world here in Orlando. He pulled off a great coaching night, great scheme, and just a total team effort. That was not a fluke, the Monmouth win tonight. They are a team to be reckoned with all season long, and it'll be a great game tomorrow night against the winner of this game.
Iowa certainly no quitting them. Anthony Clemens had a 3, then forced the turnover. So the Hawkeyes looking to get on a little bit of a run here. Utah needs a touch, doesn't he?
He does, but it's made difficult because of the fact that the pressure on the perimeter, Iowa's guards just can't get any vision or clear pass or lanes open to find Utah.
Inside, off the hands of Williams.
And with the new rules, it's a difficult thing to teach, pressuring the basketball without fouling, but the Dayton coaching staff has obviously just drilled this team and drilled them again how to play with their feet, not with their hands, and they're up in Iowa's face on every catch.
Jock, deep 3. Out of bounds. The officials say we're going the other way, much to the consternation of the Hawkeye faithful here in attendance.
Well, again, though, another contested shot by Iowa. They're trying to find some way to get Utah in a flow, maybe with some misdirection, maybe even a post-up.
Pollard, blocked by Utah. Averages 2 blocks a game, does Utah. There's Zarius Williams with that quick hops. Jones lost it out of bounds.
Just on the attack, the persistence, the energy, the second effort, the toughness. Dayton.
Pollard and Cook to the bench for Archie Miller. And we'll have a whistle on the inbounds. That's going to go on Darrell Davis. How surprised are you, Tim, that Dayton's out-rebounding Iowa this much, 30-21?
Well, it's just they've got 5 guys on the attack, and it's just the quickness has bothered Iowa. It's not the length of Iowa, it's the quickness of Dayton.
Seven on the shot clock. Scucci's going to have to create. 2 to shoot. And a shot clock violation called. 13th turnover for the Flyers, so now they're edging closer to their season average of 17 plus.
They are, but they have this lead because they've just pounded the offensive glass and got a lot of easy looks in transition. Iowa's a solid defensive team, and get some offense going on right now. They just kind of look a little bit defeated, just not feeling that confidence on the offensive end of the floor. And I think they'll get it back if they can get a 3 from Jock or get Uthoff involved down low.
Uthoff has a mismatch with the shorter Kyle Davis trying to guard it. They get him the ball on the wing. And they're going to call the block on Davis.
Good recognition by Anthony Clemens of the mismatch down low. And they need to run through Uthoff. He is too special a player. They cannot ignore him. They need to find him every possession.
Cook and Pollard, short breathers on the bench. They come back in. Davis and Williams to the bench for the Flyers.
Kyle Davis, he wanted to guard him. He didn't back down to Jared Uthoff. And he is a lockdown defender. You saw that in the NCAA tournament last year. He just did a tremendous job on Chris Dunn of Providence.
Clemens hesitates, pulls up. Yes! Anthony Clemens, good second half.
A nice step back move, and Anthony Clemens just trying to will this team back into this game. He's doing a real good job. He hasn't played a lot of minutes. He's faced the pressure of Dayton's guards, but now Iowa has a little pop in their step.
To shoot. Pollard fouled along the baseline.
Anthony Clemens has got to the rim quite a bit. Hasn't finished all the time, but here just a little step back on Scucci Smith, creating that space.
And now with 3 fouls, the head of the snake, as Archie Miller calls him, Mike Gazelle, re-enters the game for Frank Caffery's club.
There's no question about it that, first of all, Anthony Clemens needs a little bit of a break. He's done a lot out there on the floor for Iowa to keep them hanging around in this game. But Gazelle just needs to let the game come to him, play under control, run the team on the offensive end.
Baseline, good. 13 for Cook.
Probing impatience, finding the open man against the zone.
Woodbury pulls his way to the hoop. Jones comes away with it. Here's Gazelle. Still looking for his first assist. And it comes right there. Brady Ellingson with the jumper.
That's what he does, and that's what Mike Gazelle does. He gets everybody comfortable, draws the defense, kicks it out.
Smith. McIlvain. Gazelle the pick. Ellingson again. Back-to-back threes for Brady Ellingson.
Dayton has to readjust and talk about the scouting report. Understand that Ellingson, you cannot leave him on dribble drive penetration.
And Dayton continues to beat Iowa off the dribble. 10:46 to go. They're up 9.
Well, Dayton has attacked the rim against man, but against zone, it's ball movement, spacing, extra pass, find the open man.
Hot shooting for Dayton coming out in the second half. 7 for 11 from the field. They lead the Hawkeyes 65-56, 10:46 to go. We're at the Advocare Invitational, part of Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. And if the Hawkeyes are going to get back in it, number 10 in black, Mike Gazelle, is going to have to lead the way. He's been saddled with foul trouble the entire game. Had his first couple assists the last couple of minutes for the Hawkeyes. Off the hands and out of bounds of Dayton, but it'll stay Flyers basketball.
Well, Mike Gazelle gets the right player the ball at the right time. You saw him immediately. He came in the game, the driving kick, had that presence of mind to kick it to Ellingson for 2 open threes.
There's Williams in the paint. 8 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Williams pulls up, short. Woodbury clears. Another 3 attempt, this one too strong. Utah, baseline, yes. First points of the second half for Jared Utah. He has 18.
Well, the presence of Mike Gazelle just on the floor has given Iowa a little bit more of a pop in their step. They, not only on the offensive end, they're doing better things defensively. They are. Cook answers.
And Dayton calls a timeout, 9:38 to go, hanging on to an 8-point lead. There are Hoops fans, and then there are special Hoops fans. 14-year-old Parker Kress is special. He's a big Hawkeyes fan. Parker has Ewing sarcoma. He started chemo in December 2014. Hopes to be done by next month. He had surgery in April, and he hopes to get rid of his crutches soon as well. Big-time Hawkeyes fan. His positive attitude has been infectious with everyone, including this Hawkeyes basketball team that he comes in contact with. Great to see him in attendance here in Orlando.
Great stuff. And, you know, Fran McCaffrey and his great wife, Margaret, have just been very active in the Iowa City community. Coaches vs. Cancer, the V Foundation, and the whole Iowa program as well needs to be saluted.
Hawkeyes trying to give Parker and company something to cheer for. Been trailing for most of this game. There's Cook, 5 on the shot clock. Double teamed on the baseline. Tough shot.
Tough shot, good defense by Iowa, pressuring Cook on the box.
Utah. No. Going to go off Bear, and it's going to be Dayton basketball.
Pretty good look by Utah. He's got to take advantage in transition. He can find that avenue, that lane to get to the rim, and Iowa's done a pretty good job defensively. They need to get their offense back in motion.
Peter Jock re-enters the game as Gazelle goes to the bench for Fran McCaffrey. Dayton shooting close to 50%. Here's Pollard. Lined it up and knocked it down off the window.
Well, Dayton, they go small, and Kendall Pollard's a tough matchup for Adam Woodbury. Not really great at playing that face up forward. He backed up, and Pollard just put it in his face.
Bear, yes.
Bear has the trust of Fran McCaffrey. 4 minutes here down the stretch, delivering.
A lot of movement from the Flyers offense. Cook. They call that offensive. We're going the other way.
Kendall Pollard's got to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Dayton hanging in with tough D, but Iowa feeling it. They can get back.
Great basketball playing all across this country. Out in California, the DirecTV Wooden Legacy going on right now. Tom Izzo got his 500th career win. Providence is cruising against Evansville. How about coming up after us? It's a Miller doubleheader. Archie here, Sean there. Arizona ranked 11th, playing against Santa Clara for the right to move on to the semifinals, and that brings up an interesting stat. In NCAA Division I basketball, just a small handful of brothers currently coaching in Division I ball.
Coach's sons, Bryce and Scott, Bobby and Dan Hurley, and of course the great Jones brothers. He came from basketball greatness out on Long Island, played for the great Frank Romeo. I don't know if you know him. Hall of Famer out on Long Island.
We mentioned the Hurleys. Obviously their dad, Bob, is the legendary high school coach at St. Anthony's, and ironically enough, King Rice sends his son Alexander to play for Coach Hurley at St. A's.
Puts him on the train every day to go up and play for a Hall of Famer. Why not?
Eight-point lead for the Flyers with the ball. 7 minutes to go. A trip to the semifinals on the line in the Advocare Invitational.
I think Archie Miller in that timeout spoke to his team about better ball movement, and Pollard trying to take advantage of Woodbury guarding him on the perimeter, but they need to keep running their stuff. I mean, you want to take advantage of mismatches if you have them within the flow of your offense, but you can't stand around, and Archie did a nice job of that timeout, that better ball movement on that possession.
7 minutes to go. Dayton already in the bonus. They're shooting 1-1 at least the rest of the way. And he misses the front end. And Brian Kersey says there's a foul away from the ball.
Well, with Utah and Jock on the court for Iowa, they are just only a couple possessions out of every game. And right now, if they can get them a couple clean looks, they'll feel a lot better about themselves. They're hanging around right now. They're trying to get Utah in the post and get to the free throw line.
And that's 2 consecutive fouls for number 4, Charles Cook, who's done such an outstanding job most of the night against Jared Utah. Well, tonight after our Thanksgiving college football matchup, feast on with SportsCenter at night. Jay Harris, Kenny Mayne will have you covered with all the action from today's games in the NFL, college hoops, and college football. Save room for the highlights at SportsCenter at night tonight on ESPN. Now mark this time down, 6:41, Tim. Charles Cook, who's been a force on both ends of the floor, on the bench for Archie Miller with 4 fouls.
Well, Archie's saying you could put an arm bar on an offensive player, but he has to have his back to the basket. And that's what Jared Uthoff was squared up and trying to back in Cook, but he got called for the foul, but can't deliver at the line.
Mike Zell, good length shown on defense by Utah, knocking it away, 3 to shoot. Good pass inside, McIlvain lost the handle.
That was good defense by Iowa. Rotation, retreat, close the door.
Jock hasn't been able to get hot in this contest. Another turnover. It's a jump ball, possession arrow, and it's going to go to the Hawkeyes.
Well, Iowa's amped up their defense here in the last 7 minutes. Gave Dayton some fits where they've had good flow. They're not only in the half court, but they've got back and set their defense. They're not getting beat in transition like they were in the first half. They just need to, they're going through their better players right now. Utah's out of the game, so see who go to Jock, try to free him up for a three.
Here's Jock for two instead. 12 points for Jock, first bucket of the second half. Davis can't answer with the three. Tracked down by Woodbury. Gasell underneath to Clemens. And timeout called by Archie Miller. 5:19 to go. We knew Fran McCaffrey's club would not go away, and they have cut this deficit to 4.
Well, no coincidence, but Mike Gasell finding the right man on 2 straight possessions. Jock kind of making this play on his own with the help of a Woodbury screen. Got that middle game now to add to his three-pointer. But here, Gasell finding the presence of mind, finding his backcourt, made movement without the ball, finding the back seam. Dayton not aware. Iowa building confidence.
And yeah, Dayton sold about 800 tickets down here at the Advocare. But it's the Hawkeye fans who are making some noise inside HP Fieldhouse now. Dayton's been held scoreless for close to 3 minutes.
Well, we knew this atmosphere, this feel, these two teams competitively, they're going to play this game like an NCAA tournament game, and they have not disappointed. Iowa just kind of hanging around, but showing some life, some confidence, and it started with their defense.
Pollard inside. Turnaround, no. Bear the rebound. 5 minutes to go.
Well, that's too quick a shot. Off balance by Kendall Pollard, not getting his feet set and organized.
Here's Gasell. They wave off the basket. It'll be a Dayton foul on the floor. Iowa's in the bonus. They'll go to the line and shoot 1 and 1.
Mike Gasell is very difficult to defend. You know, he's not a polished three-point shooter. You don't have to play him pressure-wise on the perimeter, but he still finds a way to get to the hole because he's so good moving without the ball. He and Clemens are very in sync together offensively. They played a lot of games together. They won a lot of games together, so they're not going to back down. They feel like they can always come back in a game because of their experience of winning.
Here's Gasell, 6'2", senior, out of South Sioux City, Nebraska. Misses the front end of the 1 and 1. Williams, no. Woodbury, another rebound.
That's just a freshman shot, just in transition, nothing there, a force by Dayton.
Now a little pep in the step of the Iowa offense. Gasell, yes! Called his own number.
He did, and Kyle Davis played tremendous defense, but that's what Mike Gasell does. He just finds a way to make something out of nothing.
Baseline, no. Iowa trailed by as many as 14 in this game. And now they lead.
Well, Dayton's got to settle down, Rich. They're taking quick shots. They're getting out of character. They're not sharing the ball. They're not changing sides of the floor, and Iowa is feeling confident on defense.
Scoochie Smith can't stop the run. It's an 11-0 run for the Hawkeyes. Gazelle. Foul before the shot.
Well, Mike Gazelle watched for 18 minutes in the first half. He came out of the second half really stale and flat, but he got back in the game with his rhythm, his organization, and Ellingson locking it down from downtown.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Advocare. We build champions.
We'll have an exciting conclusion to the battle for Atlantis tomorrow at 3 Eastern on ESPN. Syracuse pulled off the upset of UConn. Texas A&M down 10th-ranked Gonzaga, and they meet in the championship of the battle for Atlantis in Paradise Island, the Bahamas. An attendance record tonight for a single game inside HP Fieldhouse. 4,871 basketball crazy fans, and they have been treated to a terrific contest. Dayton's led for over 31 minutes in this game, but now with 3:10 left, they find themselves down by 2. Tim, how's that happen?
Well, they've missed 2 front ends and 1-1, so that's a good sign for Iowa that Gazelle has knocked down a couple, but they've done it with their defense, but Dayton's a little self-inflicted here. They've taken a lot of quick shots in the last 5-6 minutes. They've got to settle down, run their offense, get Cook back involved, change sides of the floor with spacing.
Pollard. That's their first bucket in over 5 minutes.
That's probably the first time they've reversed the floor and got some movement away from the ball in about 5 minutes. That's why they got the good shot.
Gazelle. Ellingson's had the hot hand. Gazelle for 3. Oh my!
Was ball movement, a great down screen, and guts by Mike Gazelle.
A pass-first point guard, calling his own number tonight. Eight to shoot. Cook from the corner. Cold-blooded from Charles Cook. He has 18.
Right back at you. I feel at home at Dayton, Charles Cook. Year 1, I'm ready to take over.
Gazelle lost it out of bounds. It went off his leg. Dayton basketball. Mike Gazelle came into this game 25 assists and just 5 turnovers. Now there's going to be official review to make sure who the ball went off of out of bounds.
Well, we saw the celebration of Monmouth on the court and in the locker room in game 1 tonight, and now the intensity of this game in game 2. And looks like Gazelle lost it, and just Slucci Smith was up on his hip. He had a lane. He just lost control of the basketball. He had him on his hip. He just swiped in, and then at the last second, Gazelle did hit it as the ball was going out of bounds.
And the refs confirm it is Dayton basketball. $1:50 left. 1-point game. Hawkeyes have trailed for the majority of this one, but led by their point guard, Mike Gazelle, they have come storming back in the second half.
Well, Dayton settled down the last couple of possessions, Rich, and I think Archie Miller really pounded in their head in the last couple of timeouts. We need to move the ball, keep attacking, space the floor, and on ball reversal, they'll get their drives into the lanes or their driving kickouts.
.90 seconds left in regulation. 7 on the shot clock. Smith, beautiful touch off the backboard.
That's 3 straight possessions now. Dayton has got a positive look at the rim. Good ball movement. They made Iowa move on the defensive end of the floor in the 5-on-5 situation. Move the men, move the ball.
Dayton goes back on top by 1, 1:13 to go as Iowa calls timeout.
Now, this is a New York City move right here from the playgrounds. Just found a little gap, and Scoochie Smith playing under control for Archie Miller, understanding. If you need a hoop, I'm going to go get it. A nice job by McIlvain sealing off Woodbury down in the low box. That's something Dayton teaches. Hold off the help.
Both teams have 1 timeout. Both teams in the bonus. Possession arrow to the Flyers. Dayton coming off a 3-point win against William & Mary, 69-66. The Hawkeyes, their only concern is they had the longest layoff of any team in this 8-team field coming in. Almost a week's rest for them. But they've shaken off that rust.
They look sharp now, but now the issue, though, is Gazelle. He's got Kyle Davis up in his chest. He's the defensive lockdown man. You need to see if they can get Jared Uthoff open off a screen.
The winner faces upstart Monmouth. Gazelle, not this time. And there's a foul on the floor. It's going to go on McIlvain.
It was a tough shot by Gazelle. I thought that might have been a little rush. That was under duress. And you can't forget that Jared Uthoff, he needs to touch the ball. He needs to be a presence out there on the floor. He's got Kendall Pollard on him, and he had a lot of success with Pollard guarding him in the first half, but they cannot forget him.
Adam Woodbury, nice to have a 7-footer who can shoot it from the free throw line. He's now 10 for 12 this season and 3 for 3 tonight.
Good energy on the backside rebound. Woodbury's long, lanky, and tough. He's tough to block out.
1 minute left. 1 point, Iowa lead. Cook had it knocked away, and they're going to get the foul on Clemens.
And Anthony Clemens did, I thought, a tremendous job moving his feet. Just a little reach in here. That looks like all ball to me.
Two-shot foul for Dayton. Charles Cook, 18 points, make it 19.
Now the defensive player has to have the right, if he's in a legal guarding position, to move his feet and reach in and take the ball away, and the official cannot anticipate the call.
14th lead change. Utah, no. Out of bounds, Dayton basketball.
I think they're going to look at that one. And McCaffrey wants them to take a look at that one. McIlvain comes up hopping. But Utah, that was a good play. I don't think there's any, I have no problem with that shot. A good simple down screen. He's got that release from that spot out there on the floor where he made a lot of shots in the first half.
And Utah has been cold, hasn't scored in about 10 minutes in this game, and they need him down the stretch.
This is a tough one here. Jock gets his hand in there, and Rick Crawford is right in on the play, and this has to be conclusive for them to change the call. I'm not sure. You can tell they're going to really have to take a real close look to see if Jock's hand is in there, and it's like he knocked the ball out of bounds. Yeah. Rick Crawford made the proper call.
Especially considering the fact that the initial call was Dayton basketball, I don't think he overturned that one.
No, good effort by Jock. He just couldn't come up with the ball. And with his 35-second, the old shot clock, I think you've got a foul. But with a 10-second differential, Iowa can play this out.
.6 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. 40 seconds to go in the game.
But Iowa cannot relax on defense and just think that Dayton's going to take the last shot. Dayton will look for the first good shot. They'll run some clock down, but if Iowa relaxes, they will take an opportunity.
.10 to shoot. 5 left. Smith, left hand! They need a 3 to send it to OT. Jock, no. Woodbury came away with it. And initially Crawford said it was going to be Iowa basketball, but now he's changing it and saying it's Dayton ball.
Well, that's the proper call. Woodbury caught the ball and went right out of bounds. There's no doubt about that. He tried to call timeout, but he was out of bounds before he got the timeout.
And Archie Miller's asking him, what are you calling, Rick? Woodbury came down with the ball and tried to call timeout immediately.
Well, I think what happened here, Rich, is that he goes out of bounds. First of all, he got shoved by Pollard. That should have been a foul on Kendall Pollard because Adam Woodbury gets shoved. Watch the shove here. Right there, that's a foul. You have to call that. Then he goes out of bounds. He makes the incorrect call. Then he corrects the call. Then he gives Iowa a timeout, which they didn't want if they don't have the ball. So, a little bit of a comedy of errors on that possession.
Plus, Sirius Williams apparently called timeout for Dayton. So Dayton is now out of timeouts.
Now, the play of the game, though, is Scoochie Smith with the left off the window. Just the beautiful touch in traffic.
Officials are also checking the clock to see when the ball went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds, but see the shove by Pollard. I mean, absolutely, that is a foul. And Iowa should have been on the free throw line shooting 2 free throws with 4 seconds to go.
Well, there's 3 seconds showing on the clock. They're going to add a second, so it makes it 4 seconds. What a night for Scoochie Smith. 11 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds.
Well, just the presence of mind, too, to reorganize, understand the clock, and then know not to shoot a wild shot at the end of the clock, but gather himself and just the ability to go to the opposite hand in traffic.
Four seconds left. It's going to be Dayton basketball. And the Flyers trying to hang on with a 3-point lead over Iowa. The winner faces Monmouth in the semifinals. And Gazelle just pushed Charles Cook down to the floor.
Well, Dayton reorganized themselves in the last 4 minutes of this game offensively. They were going through long stretches of taking quick shots, and it got Iowa back in this game and got them the lead. And give Iowa's defense a ton of credit. I mean, they did not do anything wrong on that last possession. They rotated, they held their ground, they played the pick and roll properly. It's just Smith made an unbelievably tough shot.
He makes it. Four seconds left. He could salt it away with this free throw. 22 for Cook. And a 5-point Dayton lead, 82-77.
Iowa made a terrific comeback. They just gave their heart and soul to get back in this game, but at the end of the day, the quickness, the toughness, the versatility of the guard play of Dayton got this in. Looks like this win tonight.
And the winner of this game will face the Monmouth Hawks, who stunned 17th ranked Notre Dame 70-68 earlier tonight. And I'll tell you what, Iowa and Dayton saw Notre Dame go down, but I don't think they're breathing any easier thinking that one of these teams is going to face the Hawks, because King Rice's club looked every bit up to the task.
Well, there's no doubt. They don't look like a team that's from a conference that no one talks about, but you're in the Northeast. You know coming into this season that Monmouth was for real. Everyone that around the MAC conference knew that they were a team that was going to challenge Iona at the top of the league, and they're not only going to challenge Iona, they're going to be a team that can win a lot of games in the non-conference. With the win over UCLA and the win tonight over Notre Dame, they're going to play possibly Dayton or Iowa tomorrow night.
Charles Cook is our Advocare player of the game, 22 points. Shot 4 for 6 from distance. Chipped in with 4 rebounds as well, and his 2 free throws might have iced this game for the Flyers. Woodbury, the touchdown pass. It's loose. And it's Iowa basketball, 1.7 remaining.
I was trying to get a quick one and then foul, but Dayton again just very quick to the basketball.
Now Ellingson checks in for Ahmad Wagner. Get another 3-point shooter on the floor. 1.7 left. Here's Gazelle inbounds. Utah fires short, and Dayton closes this game on an 11-2 run in the final 2 minutes to hold off a very tough Iowa Hawkeyes basketball team. Final thoughts, Tim Welsh?
Well, Dayton punched Iowa in the stomach. They responded in the second half, but it was too late. Iowa just could not get Utah going, and Dayton had too much defense and offensive rebound. So
score one for the little guys. In the back end of this Advocare Invitational quarterfinals, Monmouth upsets Notre Dame, and the Atlantic 10's Dayton Flyers beats the Big Ten's Iowa Hawkeyes. Your final score once again from HP Fieldhouse, Dayton 82, Iowa 77. Charles Cook led the way with a game-high 22 points. That'll do it for us here. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. For my partner, Tim Welsh, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Coming up next, it's First Take Retake. Good night from ESPN's Wide World of Sports.
First Take.